right, so we're recording. This is Nubia with Nubian Queen Nation. It's been a little bit, but I'm here, and I always say that I have a special guest because all my guests are special. And I know you hear background music. You're going to hear some car racing. Behind us, we have a beautiful piano. So we're in a place here in, we can say we're in New London, Connecticut.
Yeah, no problem.
And it's, so how do you explain what RD86 is?
RD86, there's so many ways to talk about it. My name's Hannah Gant.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. So I'm, one part owner, operator of RD86 with my business partner, Robert Ramsay. And, we started RD86 because, we were motivated to try to create a platform where people could test and develop new concepts in food service and hospitality. So, when you start a restaurant, the failure rate is so high, and the consequences of failing are so disastrous for people's lives. It just made sense to us that there be a space, a site that was not that offered a restaurant experience, but wasn't like a fixed restaurant. That could be a site where people who had an idea or a concept could prototype that. There's so many services that exist for writing a business plan, for preparing to start, but there's not a lot out there for testing that out. Making all the mistakes as fast as you can, or figuring out that it's not for you, before you make that commitment to do something that has a high likelihood of failure. And, my interest is really in community economic development. So I come to this with a background in kind of social enterprise, sustainable business, placemaking, and of course with the lens of food. I'm a big foodie. I used to manage farmers markets. Okay. I had a farm business. I was a cheesemaker. I had a candy bar business. That's probably where I met you before, probably on somewhere in a farmer's market or something like that. And also, I know that you did check out Spark. I was part of starting the Spark Makerspace community here in New London, and through that's how I met Robert. And
so how long has it been up? Because I know.
So we started this 5 years ago.
Okay, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're just really, and he was interested also in, trying to create this platform for people to test and develop new concepts. So both of us really committed to doing that outside of the nonprofit structure. Believing that if we could build an audience of customers who would come to RD86, we could showcase the different talent entrepreneurs and have them pay for dinner, whatever it is, and that be the monetization, instead of charging entrepreneurs for their time or being heavily grant dependent. There's not good sustainability there, and so what we
like they can feel forward. Like they can come here and they can test it out and
fail forward, de-risk, all of that. So, we really see ourselves as kind of a social enterprise, and understood that, while we're passionate about that mission, in order to accomplish it, we have to actually be doing a lot more than just that kind of opportunity creation. And so what kind of showed up in the first couple of years was really just running a business of a restaurant ourselves, in order to build that audience, to build trust, with a consumer base, and to build a brand as successful, operators in the space before really starting to take people on. It was also our intention, working with these entrepreneurs, is to kind of tell a story. Each project, each person, each concept, is a story, and we, interested in building an audience for those people. And so part of our model had always been to get into media production. And because we, look like a restaurant, in those early years, we weren't able to really get the investment to diversify and expand into that media production. nobody wants to invest in restaurants. You know, like I'm like, I don't even know how do all these restaurants exist? Like, it's been like frightfully difficult to start and grow this.
I came in 5 years ago or more because at that time keto was really hot.
Right.
And there was a guy that's in our local area.
Yeah,
here.
our friend, Carl Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah, is he has it's fun, we're on a podcast.
Right.
He had a very successful podcast called Keto Dudes, and has organized a keto festival.
And before he even did the first keto festival, I think. And he had a couple of dinners that were sponsored here, and so I did like a date night, and my husband and I came out, and we met him. And,
we've done a lot.
So
we've hosted the Keto Fests. We've done different things with that community through Carl, since he has such a great following. And I just love how food brings people together. So that's part of why I'm in this space. But I also just really believe in like the power of these, this retail business that is hospitality, to help a place in an economy like New London that is, kind of struggling to be healthy.
Find its place,
to find its place. I think that part of that success just depends on, growing the market, attracting more people in.
The thing I think is funny is that, so my husband and I came 5 years ago, whatever, a couple times, and then I have 3 adult daughters, and one of them was like, come in every Sunday for brunch. I didn't even know. She kept trying to come.
We really became known for our brunch.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I had no idea that it was the same place that I was coming for the keto thing. You know what I mean? So, and that was just before the pandemic, so I think that kind of went away a little bit. Maybe we'll bring it back later.
Yeah, we have not reopened for brunch, but I do see that as like a community service that we provided. Like, for some people, brunch is like a quality of life,
especially for millennials and those Gen Zs. They were like, she was like hanging out and having mimosas.
Right. Yeah. It's like a quality of life, and before we opened, there really wasn't much of an option. I think there's a few more now, but like that to me was like checking a box in like placemaking, for this community. So so RD86, it looks like a restaurant.
So much more. You guys
the
have
iceberg,
to come on in here.
The iceberg is big, so that's kind of like is the tip. But through COVID, with kind of the suddenly we weren't able to be open every day, and we were able to access some stimulus resources to be able to maintain during that really time of like no revenue at all,
like a hiatus, right?
Yeah, total hiatus, and like that gave us the opportunity to begin to complete the thought on expanding into the media production, and to have the time to learn how to use that technology. And so we've developed the second floor of RD86 into our studio, which is where we're sitting now. And so we've got a suite of infrastructure that supports broadcasts, live stream,
great cameras,
audio, video production.
So my daughter, again, with her friend, they came on you guys had like a karaoke night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you guys are way more than just a restaurant. So she's eating dinner, and then they're having karaoke night. And so then when she gets home, she shows us the video, and I'm like, wait, that place, I know that. Well, I had stopped cooking on holidays because it was just so exhausting. So you guys had a program where you you serve food on, I call it Friendsgiving. Mm-hmm. So in November for Friendsgiving, 2 years ago, we ordered food.
Yeah.
So I was like, I like this, not having to cook. And you're the cook.
Right.
So that was 3 years ago. We came, picked up our meal. Then that worked out so well. So we did it a second year, and then this was our third year. I think this is pretty much the third year.
Yeah, I think so.
So that has worked out really well for us.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that you like that.
Yes.
Yeah, the prepared meals is something we started to do weekly during COVID. So we didn't open. I know some restaurants stayed open, but we chose to do the prepared meals
Right. So
with
we have Taco Tuesday.
a different menu every week. People could like pre-order and pick up what that would be, and and then eventually we did resume doing some services and some events. We were always known for the Taco Tuesday, so that's back as like a regular thing. But now we started to do a live jazz series on Thursdays.
Okay.
Love the live music, and we've got the setting for it.
Right.
So in daytime we're able to do different things in media production. Having this infrastructure doesn't just enable us to curate and document sort of the stories of the projects that we're working on, but we're finding we've got client work opportunities, which is important for we're passionate about the restaurant and being able to share infrastructure to help people to prototype and test and develop, but it's important to be diversified with the business model, because that's not where the money is. That's where impact is, and we're committed to doing that. But to be kind of sustainable, we've been diversifying. And another thing that has happened through this period is that my business partner Robert, in COVID when we were all in isolation, started to do this simulated virtual racing, race car driving. And just got some entry level
and that's
stuff
how I
at
bumped
home.
into him, because I came to pick up my meal for Friendsgiving.
Right.
And he started talking about it and asked my son
his
some questions.
enthusiasm is infectious.
Right. So that's why you hear all the racing in the background.
Right. Yeah. So there's kind of a race night experience happening right now. It looks like RJ is behind the wheel. So yeah, and through Robert getting into that, he discovered like, wow, there is a massive community and economy in this space. And when we had first started out, the idea with our kind of business model with RD86 was to do that media production around people, entrepreneurs, small businesses that we would be working with. And by the time we were able to get that infrastructure, we discovered I think COVID introduced also just the world of live streaming. That there's so much more than just producing content, whether that be little videos or audio podcasts. You can actually engage virtually in real time with a ton of people.
Yes.
And there's a ton of people watching and consuming this content.
So while you say that, there's while the guys are over there racing, Twitch, right? Twitch. So they're streaming live on Twitch. So if you go there, anything about Twitch, you can go over there to the code, probably RD86, something to do with.
Yeah, I think that we're streaming right now on Drop the Clutch.
Drop the Clutch. Okay.
Yeah.
It probably says RD86 and Drop the Clutch.
Yeah, we've got RD86 Studio and Drop the Clutch are two different kind of
entities.
Entities, handles,
gotcha.
what have you. A lot of our music is pushed through RD86 Studio, and I think the Drop the Clutch is a brand that we've been developing for the youth program, and that's what RJ's engaging in, but we're also developing kind of like a team or a league of adult racers. So that's going to be happening not in that nonprofit Drop the Clutch space. But we're really excited about kind of this next chapter. We've been doing a lot of kind of R&D, and that's what, RD86 stands for Research and Development.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and, in food and hospitality, when you 86 something, it comes off the menu. It's like you run out of something. Okay. Yeah, so that was, that's part of the, the meaning embedded in RD86 is Robert and I, just full of ideas, entrepreneurial, want to help other people to test and develop their ideas. 86, what doesn't work, kind of lean startup into, being successful and also impactful. So yeah, we're, excited about the position that we're in, finally beginning to really get some of the live streams going.
Right.
And
you have a following, like you said. You have different groups and different age groups of people. You have different age groups of people that are coming in and patronizing you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. yeah, we've got a lot of like devoted fans, and different touch points with people. You know, we're still open for dining service a few days a week. You know,
Is it Wednesday and Thursday?
We've got the Taco Tuesday, the live music on Thursday. We're open for kind of our classic dinner experience downstairs on Fridays. Still doing prepared meals, which is a Friday pickup. And Mondays is kind of becoming like a race night. But
so this is an open house. People have been walking through, and of course, you made some delicious food, so we're all eating and talking. And
yeah, we always like to provide the you know the food and beverage, and we do a lot of private events as well. You know, all the people who walk in are like, wow, could we do our holiday party here?
Yeah, and what's the just for the second floor? What do you think the square footage is?
Oh, this is probably 2,500, 3,000 square feet. Yeah. And the bottom floor, you know, we've got an outdoor space as well.
Right.
That people like. Yeah, you got to come during the summertime. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
So what about parkings? I know that it's kind of sparse around here.
Well, I mean, we're right across the street from the municipal parking lot, and there's also street parking. So yeah, I mean that hasn't been an issue. We feel we're happy to be so adjacent to the municipal lot.
Yeah. So there you have it. That was a really quick interview. I mean, that's, you know, I think that people make podcasting really, really difficult. I mean, of course, you guys have a lot of beautiful equipment here that I can't wait to actually learn how to use a little bit.
Sure.
But I just carry my telephone around, and we're doing the podcast on my phone, and then I'm just using my son's Apple phone to record the video portion of it. So people can go and visit. Nubian Queen 04 is probably where I'll post it on YouTube. And then, of course, Nubian Queen Nation for the podcast. But, Piana, thank you so much. This was, you know, I know you got to get back to doing what you do.
I love it. I love doing things in real time. You just like grab me and let's go.
Yeah, so thank you so much for spending some time with us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. And, of course, we'll be back next Monday.
We'll be here.
Thanks for being here with us today. I think I might even take the phone. My Nubian Queen podcast will get back to you. But I'm going to take the phone, and we're going to walk around and view some of the people playing games over there. All right. So we're going to take this. Thank you. We're going to walk around.
Yeah, no problem.
So here's the beautiful piano they have over here. And then he has all this equipment stuff. Look at all this stuff over here. This is his setup for his gaming. I don't know very much about equipment. So that's what he has. And then these are some of the people that want to, equipment. Camera stuff. Of course now, they're all leaving.
What's your fastest lap you got? Good stuff. 147. It's like a giant 3D printer. It was not bad. You're welcome. It's like, I don't know, I think his sister,